Hello, it's about 2:10 on Tuesday afternoon. I'm having a post-lunch coffee break. Izzy's hard at work. She's done 2 hours of maths today and she's 40 minutes into her independent biology written assignment that she's been working on for a few days. You know how I got myself this rather splendid new scooter a week or two ago? Well, I said to Izzy, why don't you try it, compare it to the one that you have already, and if that one is absolutely streets ahead of the one she was currently using, I would invest in one for her. And not only was it indeed streets ahead, but also, I hadn't realised, but that's how high Izzy's existing one goes, and she's literally grown out of it. It's too small for her. So, look, it's come today. I ordered her a white one, you know, just so we can tell them apart. And I'm going to open it up now and I'm going to put her little stand on for her. So it's all ready for her. Here we go again. Oh, there it is, look. That's probably high enough for our Izzy, if not too high. Won't be surprised if she puts it down at first because she's used to it being so much lower. Nice, isn't it? Let's push that in. Not quite sure where that's supposed to go. Right, now there's something I need to do, which is to attach the stand. Let me just show you on mine. I'm going to be an expert at this. There, that thing there comes in this bag and you just have to do it separately. So I'll do that now. Oh, I hope she's gonna love it. These are a little bit of a fiddle to get on. You kind of get the hang after a while. By the time you've done 2 scooters worth. Maybe I'm putting that on the wrong way. Not quite sure. I've got one on one way and one on the other. Oh well. So I will put a link to this make and model in the description if you like. They are £69. They're going to tide us over the pandemic while we're completely stuck here without a car, trying to avoid public transport, and we've got a 5-mile restriction anyway in Wales until next Monday. I think it's going to be lifted. That's the current plan as far as I know. I haven't watched the Wales update yet because we get ours at lunchtime and I never watch them because they're so time consuming. I just look at the headlines after. There, it's on. Bit of a fiddle, but done it now. Right, the obligatory test drive. So we're now officially a 2 WeSkate urban scooter household. Poor old Izzy's not actually feeling very well today. Once a week, just in case you're new to this channel and you don't know, once a week on a Monday night, Izzy has to have an injection as part of her medication to control her very, very severe eczema. And I administer it. It's a self-injection pen. It's nothing fancy. I'm not that clever, but sometimes it makes her feel a little bit nauseous the next day, and today is one of those days. After lunch, because I knew she'd been feeling a bit sicky, I decided I'd reschedule this afternoon's work, and instead of doing biology, history and English literature, I'd just let her binge out on the English literature that I had planned, because it's just listening to a Pride and Prejudice audiobook. It's actually on YouTube, so it's got the book text scrolling so you can see and read, so it's a kind of multi-sensory way of familiarising oneself with the set text. So I was just going to say, why didn't you just do that for a few hours instead, you know, because it's a bit less arduous. But I went up to tell her and she'd already been doing biology for 40 minutes by that point and was working her way through this assignment. So I thought, right, excellent, I'm just going to sneak back downstairs again then. I'm not going to say anything. So she's here at the moment, biology. I really need to hoover the entire household. I awoke to the sound of Izzy having the most epic sneezing fit this morning, which means there's dust in her room. I think it's probably a pretty good sign, unless it's hay fever, I suppose, could be that. But I haven't hoovered for a good 3 days, I'd say, so I really need to do that. I just kept forgetting. I've hoovered mostly everywhere. I need Izzy to tidy her room a bit more before I can hoover that. I did a little patch of bare carpet and then ran out of things that wasn't covered in debris. Wasn't it, Iz? We had a little incident with a cotton reel as well, which ended up entangled in the hoover. Don't know what I'm going in there for. We're doing history now. History. And we're going to finish this book today, I think, Isabel. Yay. It's 10 to 4 and we finished the whole of this book. I wasn't expecting to finish it quite so quickly. We finished it so quickly just because, you see, in case you're new to this channel, Isabel has applied to go to college from September to do a BTEC level 2, which is an equivalent for GCSEs, but it's a vocational and more practical based course than GCSEs, but it's an equivalent of 4. And also to do maths and English GCSE, which will bring up to 6, which is basically the equivalent of what we're studying from at home. So plan A is college, plan B is to do these 6 GCSEs. Funding was turned down. Somebody's advocating on our behalf to try and persuade the local education authority to provide the funding, which apparently they are legally obliged to do. Well, they're legally obliged to fund her education, but whether they'll agree to this particular funding, I don't know. So we're waiting to find out. So, in the meantime, we're in this kind of purgatory of study. We can't drop it, we can't not study it, because if she is doing the exams next year, that will mean she's got to do loads of catching up and it won't be fun, it'll be stressful. So we're not letting that happen, we're just carrying on with our studies. But it's quite difficult to keep up our momentum and enthusiasm for it constantly. We're all right at the moment, we're back on the conveyor belt at the moment and we're okay with it just now, but we're still waiting to hear. It could be any minute. Anyway, where I was going with that is I chose, because we had that sort of hanging over us. Sorry, this always happens when I'm talking. And then I turned the volume off and then I missed my updates then. Right, anyway, so where I was going with this is that when we started this topic of history, we were waiting to hear about college. So I didn't want to not cover the curriculum before she went to college, because it's a valuable and rich and useful curriculum. So I wanted her to have a general awareness of it, and I'd rather that she covered all of it to a lesser degree than went really, really in depth on just a few of the subtopics and then abandoned it completely. We've done that now though, we've got the overview and we still don't know if she's going to college, so I've got to decide what to do next. But I've got a plan, but I need to plan the plan. So the plan is I'm going to set up a load of alternative sources of exactly the same material that we've just gone through in a kind of cursory way, but more in depth. So things like GCSE bite-sized links and online videos on the topics which are specific to the AQA history specification. But it's going to take me a while to set it all up, but I don't want to spend hours, if not days, doing this only to find that she's going to college, because I will have wasted my time. But I think I do need to actually sit down and at least set up the first bit. But my immediate next job for now is marking maths. Izzy in the meantime has just fast-tracked onto her English literature and she's going to spend an extra half an hour on that today, because she finished the history half an hour early and we were like, oh, what shall we do now? Shall we look up videos? I wasn't expecting it to finish so soon. The thing is, the last few pages in the book, which I hadn't realised, was specifically about answering exam questions, so they will be irrelevant to Izzy unless she's doing the exam, so I thought we'd save that till a bit later on. But right now I'm going to mark this maths and have a little look to see what I can find in the way of history resources for the very first couple of topics in that book. And eat frazzles. Well, very conveniently, it would appear that somebody called Michelle has already set up a playlist of 30 videos for GCSE Power and the People AQA, and it's got all the things that we've just been studying in it. The story of Magna Carta. What is Magna Carta? Simon de Montfort and the emergence of Parliament. Da, 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 da. This is what we've been going through for the last few weeks. Excellent. Thank you very much, Michelle, whoever you are. I am going to practice my flute down in Flute Cave. It's now 5:45 in the evening. I've just practiced for an hour and I'm going to do some editing now before I get the dinner on for the evening. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like to help the channel to grow. Hit the subscribe button if you're new and you'd like to follow more of our adventures, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!